Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Russian Tier 8 Premium Light Tank, the LT-432. Now this is a tank that I don't actually think has featured on my channel before, and it's a tank that isn't bad, and it's not exceptional. It's just pretty good. It's pretty enjoyable as a light tank. It's kind of the Tier 8 version of the T100 LT in the fact that it's flat as a pancake. It has weird armour, because it has the kind of armour that can just ricochet shots that it really shouldn't. I've ricocheted with Jagdpanzer in this before, and you just sit there going, how have I just done this? I have no idea. It's just magic Russian armour, and that's just the way it is. Its mobility is okay. It goes at like 65 kilometers an hour. Its track traverse is a little bit slow, but for the most part is okay. And it is a very heavy light tank, and as you can see there, it can ram pretty decently, as we absolutely trashed that poor Trailblazer. Now, before we get into anything else, don't adjust your TV sets. The audio for the gameplay isn't there for this replay in itself, because for some reason, whenever I go and end up playing on my Series S, it just decides, you know what, sometimes I record the audio to replays, sometimes I won't record any audio whatsoever, there'll be nothing. It'll just be the video itself. So yeah, there's no audio for this one, but there will be for the next one. In terms of a crew that I run on the LT-432, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Run and Gun, Steady Aim, Track Mechanic, Camouflage Expertise, and Muffled Shot. Fairly typical light tank setup, where I help the gun out a little bit by making it better on the move and better, 10% better in general, and then also help it out with the camo, because it is a light tank. It wants to be able to keep a little bit more stealthy here and there, right? And help it with the camouflage expertise and making sure that it can stay a little, well, it helps it when it fires that it might not get spotted as much with muffled shot. So yeah, this tank, it has 176 pen on its APCR, because yes, it has APCR as standard, and it's just like, and this is why I say it's like the mini T100 LT, because it is just like the T100 LT in the fact that it gets premium round, which is AP, which is a little bit weird, because that means you actually have way better shell velocity on your standard round, but on the premium round you do get less velocity, but you do get 218 pen on the AP round. And actually, to be honest, it's quite nice to have the AP round as the premium, because while it's slower shell velocity than the APCR, you don't actually lose as much penetration over distance with the premium AP as you would do if it was premium APCR, which is fairly decent. 176 is enough on a light tank, because you are going to be getting to good flanking positions, and 218 will help you deal with a fair few tanks, but there's going to be a fair few tier 10s if you get into a tier 10 lobby that you are going to struggle with. But that's the benefit of having the AP again over something like Heat that maybe the Bulldog has, is the fact that, well, if you get round the sides of these tanks, 218, you might be able to still pen them in the side through the tracks, that sort of thing, whereas the Bulldog has absolutely no hope. So on this first replay on Redshire, we've got 2.7k assistance and 1500 damage so far, because we managed to keep running round, keep spotting everyone up, and then keep getting shots in everywhere we can. We end up spotting their side over here, because look at all the people I've got at B8. They can shoot at that sniper ridge really quite easily. They can also shoot these guys at B4 and anyone else that there. The way our team had shaped in meant that they could only be in this corner. So it's kind of like, you know what, I'm going to poke over, I'm going to go spot in for my team so that hopefully I can get a bit of assistance. Now, unfortunately, we take a tag from the AMX AC-46 there, which means I'm now a one-shot for the standard B, which is what I didn't want. I wanted it so that I could at least take one hit so I could, go in for some risky shots on this guy. But fortunately enough, he's now distracted with everyone else, so we're just going to go in, get a shot in, and we finish the game. And we finished the game with a decent total for the LT-432. We finished with the victory. Come top on the team, 2.3k damage, 4.4k assist. All the scout medals, the patrol duty scout medal, Confederate ace tanker. So we played the proper light tank man's game there. We spotted 9 people, and we also, got loads of assistance on loads of different targets. They're always nice medals to get when you're in a light tank, because it's like, hey, I did everything that I've been asked of me, right? I spotted, did damage with the Confederate medal, and I also, you know, was lighting up targets, which is always nice to do in a light tank. So we're on the second game, and we're on Calnus. And what we're going to do is, because it's encounter battle, they all spawn in one corner, we all spawn in the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get to the D3-4 position, usually D4, because you can go into a little, there's like a little corner area that you can get in that you can stay safe, but you can also spot across the AB line. And doing that obviously catches anyone else from their side trying to get up to A1. But trying to get to A1 from their spawn is pretty suicidal, because usually that leads to you dying very painfully, because most of my team will get there first, and like I say, if anyone takes this position that I've got to here, well, yeah, I'm going to spot you up, and my team's going to absolutely blap you, which is, you know, not particularly good. As you see what's just happened with the Lynx, we spotted him up, my team absolutely wrecked him, and yeah, good times. In terms of equipment, by the way, that I've run on this tank, I run Armour, Camo Net, and Optics. Optics, obviously, on a light tank, want to be spotting as much as possible. So, yeah. Camo Net, because, again, I want to buff the camo up on this tank. This camo on this tank is really good. And by running a Camo Net, it gets even better. And that means there's a lot of situations and a lot of places I can get to without getting lit up. You know, and that means I can get more spotting if I can. But obviously that means in lieu of vert stabs, so the gun handling isn't as good as it possibly could be while on the move and stuff like that. I've just seen a fair few shots miss on that MX-1375. Also, because the track traverse isn't the best, you could also, like, you know, run traction system instead of one of them as well. Like, say, instead of rammer or something like that, to give you that 10% extra track traverse, but also get you up to 71 kilometers an hour instead of 65, which does make a difference, but it depends on how you want to play it. Like, I can handle the 65 kilometers an hour. It's fine for me. So I'd rather have the better camo, but it's always down to how you prefer to run your tank. So this is where having a camo net does help, because we've got the camo net. This Oni has no hope of spotting us, but unfortunately this is where our penetration lets us down a little bit, because the APCR at this distance isn't going to pen this Oni. The AP will go through, but it's more like a 50-50 chance guaranteed go through. But if he turns like that, we can go through the drive wheel. Because obviously the thing with the Oni is if it does turn ever so slightly the way he has, the drive wheel actually isn't that strong, and it's quite easy to track and pen it. But we do manage to get a fair few shots of damage into that guy. We're up to 1,300 damage and 2.3k assistance. I've decided, you know what, I'm going to go after this G-Saw. He's shooting at someone over there, so he's fired 2. It's fired 3. And I feel like, you know what, he might have not fired the 4th, but we're just going to go in on this guy. We know there's another G-Saw that's behind us, but we can get safe from that guy behind this rock. So we move in, get rid of that G-Saw. It's not another G-Saw, it's a Stirrer Mill. And that big threat of that G-Saw is gone. Because while the G-Saw has an extremely long reload, that tank will delete... Well, it can fully delete us in one clip, which is, you know, not good. So now that guy's gone, we're going to go after the Stirrer Mill, auto-aim the shot in, shut him down. Now there's this Crusader SP, the Tier 7 artillery. We shut him down. 2 kills and 2 shots. Always a great time. So now we're going to push forward and see if we can spot anyone that is camping along the 9 line. And that way, hopefully get a little bit of assistance. Because, I mean, we're at 2.8k so far, which is really good. 2k damage as well, which is pretty decent. And we're going to go after this Black Prince. Unfortunately, we missed the shot on his back. We're just going to make sure we aim it in this time, and it goes straight in, which is exactly what we like. We're going to get up behind him, hopefully, and get some shots into his rear up here, and that way we can... Well, okay, he gets shut down, so we decide, you know, okay, let's go after the light tank. We get the light tank, we know where the last 2 TDs are. There's one, it's the Sturm Tiger P, and there's the other, it's the G-Saw. That's the G-Saw that we'd spotted earlier on, because there were 2 along that A line. He was one of the ones we spotted alongside with the other one, but he gets shut down as well. There's only shut down by the Aguila, sorry, and there's only a Sturm Tiger P left. So what we're going to do is we're going to feint as if, well, we're spotted as if we're going to turn on the left-hand side, but we're going to go along the right-hand side. So we actually try and get up behind the Sturm Tiger P, as long as he's not, you know, still going. So we get one shot into the back of the Sturm Tiger P, and it's like, well, hello, I'm just going to pen... Oh. I bounced off your ass. Okay. Well, I'm going to go for the drive wheel. Wait, how did that miss the drive wheel? I have no idea. But we fully missed that guy. Unfortunately, the next one actually ended up missing. We get a shot into his side, and it's like, well, let's crush. I've got full health, he's got health. I'm just going to take as much damage as I can just by crushing. And we finished the game with 3.3k damage and 2.9k assistance. We finished with victory, top on the team. 3.2k damage, 2.9k assistance, ace tanker, high caliber, Confederate. I think we finished an op as well to get 1.1 million. And 1784 base XP. Really nice game for the LT-432. It's a fairly solid light tank. It's pretty maneuverable. Got good camo. Its gun is pretty decent. It's got good view range. And yeah, it's kind of fun. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.